In this video, we are doing a little character sketch of the very famous Mohammad bin Tughlaq, the second ruler of Tughlaq Dynasty, also popularly referred to as history's fool. So why was he known as history's fool? When you ask around, the common idea which people have of him is majorly because of his three policies which failed famously or infamously. The first one was his shifting the capital of his empire from Delhi to Daulatabad. The second was introduction of token currency, and the third one is some of his agrarian measures, which left the peasantry dissatisfied in the Doab region. Hi guys, welcome to Itihaskaar, and today we're going to reconstruct Mohammad bin Tughlaq's reign by looking into all these three failed policies of his. By the end of this video, we will again reflect whether he was as much of a fool as history makes him out to be, or was he just ahead of his times. The exodus of Delhi to Devagiri, which was later named Daulatabad, is one of his most controversial policies. According to contemporary historian Barani, Delhi was devastated and ruined as all its population was asked to shift with the Sultan to Daulatabad. Why was this done in the first place? Because Devagiri was central to the expansive empire which Mohammad bin Tughlaq had inherited. He had to keep the newly captured territories of the south under close supervision as the rule was still new. This whole project was quite expensive, as well as it took almost 2 whole years to be completed. But as you know, it didn't fare out in the most positive way. Soon, the southern territories of the present-day Karnataka and Telangana were lost to the Sultanate. And so the whole reason of why they shifted to Daulatabad in the first place was not there anymore. Therefore, everybody shifted back to Delhi. Now, there are various criticisms that flow out of this event. One was that it was a hasty decision of Mohammad bin Tughlaq, and this whole costly and time-consuming project could have been very well avoided. Well, no, it wasn't a hasty decision at all. Remember, never before the sultans of Delhi had faced the direct administration of such a large empire, expanding almost the entire Indian subcontinent. And so it seemed rational and logical decision to shift the capital of the administration to the center of the empire, or if not, at least have a second capital city down in south as well. Who would have known that the southern territories would soon be lost and they would need to shift back to Delhi? Secondly, in the whole scheme of things, the stay at Daulatabad looks rather short-timed, but it was not. It was in 1327 CE that Mohammad bin Tughlaq ordered the shifting of the capital, and in 1337, after a whole decade, it was decided that they will shift back. So neither was it a hasty decision nor short-lived. Thirdly, because Barani has written about it so ferociously, people assume that ruination of Delhi was a true fact. But modern historiography has rejected that, citing many examples that life continued on in Delhi as had been going on previously. The city was not abandoned and ruined. Now you would say, what are you talking about, Kriti? Ever since our middle schools, we have read that this was a very criticized policy. But you just refuted all the criticisms. So was there anything wrong with this even or not? Hey, come on now. Of course it was. But we need to find better points to criticize it. For example, the people. The people weren't forced per se by the Sultan to move to Daulatabad with him, but there was considerable pressure applied on them. Amir Khusro, for example, writes that he dearly misses his Delhi, and the people and culture of Daulatabad were alien and foreign, not just to him, but also many others. Even the common migrants too were not very happy. Let's talk about the token currency fiasco that he faced. This is also one of the events which is little understood and heavily criticized about Mohammad bin Tughlaq. Now, the currency which was prevalent in Mohammad bin Tughlaq's time was of gold and silver. Mohammad bin Tughlaq introduced coins of brass and copper, whose value was equal to that of gold and silver coins. Now, there is nothing inherently bad about token currency, but it is effective only when they are issued by government alone. This is where Mohammad bin Tughlaq failed, and there was an upsurge of brass and copper coins which was being produced and circulated illegally in the market. People had utensils of brass and copper, etc. in their homes, which they smelted into new coins. This is problematic because when the brass and copper coins are equal in value to the gold and silver coins, a large number of brass and copper coins would mean an equally large number of gold and silver coins. which wasn't the case. When it was decided that this experiment was a failure too, Mohammed bin Tughlaq called back the idea of token currency, and he paid gold and silver in exchange for all the brass and copper of the people, whether it was forged by the royal mint or not. This was a serious blow on the treasury of Delhi Sultanate. The finalmost policy which we will discuss today relates to agriculture. If you've seen the previous videos on Alauddin Khilji's agrarian reforms, you know that taxes were almost 50% of the total produce, and the peasantry was left with little surplus. Moreover, Alauddin was very strict in meting out punishment, so his officials lived in constant fear of his government. Similar was the case with Mohammed bin Tughlaq. Taxes were increased gradually on the peasantry as the sultans had made efforts for increasing overall produce by bringing banjar or non-cultivated land under cultivation. He had given out hefty loans to farmers, but all of this came to naught when there was a 7-year-long famine which struck Delhi. Inflation of grain prices rose quite high, and cultivation, instead of expanding to other areas, contracted and declined. It was such a pitiable situation that grain had to be imported from regions of Awadh where there was better conditions. So, all in all, you notice that the policies which Mohammed bin Tughlaq thought of and tried to introduce could have helped his governance were it not for preemptive and unforeseen failures. What do you think? I personally think that he was a visionary and futuristic leader, but he was born under an unlucky star, to put it precisely. Comment down on what your opinions of Mohammed bin Tughlaq are. Does the title History's Fool suit him well or not? That's it for today, ladies and gents. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video with your friends and family. See you next time.